And we're on to pick 2. Ruby Collector is one of those cards that pushes you into red-white, which is another very, very good color combination here. I'm also looking at this Commercial District. It's nice to have these Surveil lands in your deck because there's so many fetches. These end up giving you an extra card pretty often when you mill a land off the top of your deck. Spell Snare is strong. This pack is kind of weak, to be perfectly honest. Ruby Collector is the best card in it. I think Spell Snare is probably second, but all these lands are a little bit more interesting to me. I could take Overgrown Tomb. Black-green is not something I end up in as often, but at least this land comes into play untapped. I'm going to take Commercial District here. Okay. I've seen some people do some pretty nasty things with Soul of Windgrace. This takes cards from your opponent's graveyard too, if you want. When enters your attacks, put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped under your control. So you can steal your opponent's fetches, and there's tons of fetches in this set. Jund isn't usually the direction I want to move in. I like something that's more blue-oriented, green-blue, but Soul of Windgrace is really good. And we might be able to wield that Overgrown Tomb. I don't think we're going to wield this Wooded Foothills, but maybe the the Blood Crypt. Other good considerations in this pack: Spinner of Souls, Agent of Rafine. Agent of Rafine is probably the best card, but I'm going to take Windgrace. Even though it's 3 colors, we're going to be able to cast it, possibly. All right. So Agent of Rafine might have looked a little bit better. I like Enduring Curiosity a lot. There's also a dual land here. We can pretty much just take dual lands at any point and be happy. Not dual lands, fetch lands. Gotta get my vernacular cleaned up. Turn down that volume on my music. I didn't realize how loud it was. All right. Well, I'm not all this good blue. I don't really like passing, but I think I might just take this fetch land. There's a Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel, another very good blue card for green-blue. Here's a Blood Crypt. Here's a Kolagon's Command. I like both of those cards. I think I like Blood Crypt a little bit more, though. Detective's Phoenix. Card's pretty good when you're filling your graveyard. Lumra's an interesting consideration, but just kind of an expensive 6-drop. Gets you a bunch of lands, and there's other ways to do that. Tireless Tracker looks like a pretty good pick. Anything that abuses the landfall mechanic. Good effect is strong in this format. Had we taken that Agent of Rafine, our deck would look a lot different. But I like the shape of things so far. This is nice. A Magda, Brazen Outlaw. It's exactly the kind of 2-drop you want to see to push you into your colors. And, you know, now we know red is pretty open. We took good dual lands to get there. And heck yeah. Magda looks great. Zealous Conscripts is awesome. This card is very strong, but we're going to have to pass it. We're going to pass Breeding Pool as well for the sake of playing Jund, I suppose. Stomping Ground. Yeah. Over the Insidious Fungus. Okay, Blood Tithe Harvester. Our mana should be good enough to cast that consistently on turn 2. This does a landfall thing, but honestly, it looks too slow. I haven't played with that card in this cube yet, but it doesn't look like it's going to be very good to me. Wheeling the other Blood Crypt, as we had hoped. / anticipated. Thunderous Velocipede is cool and all, but I don't need it. I guess this is kind of a win. Ooh, we wield Kolaghan's Command. How about that? Our plan is coming together. Now, this is actually a way to kill people, isn't it? Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target player mills 2 cards. Fetch lands are permanents. We're going to need some more fetch lands to go with this Bristly Bill, but Bristly Bill is a bomb and a half in this format with all the fetches. We're going to need to find some more. Looking at what we got from last pack, there was a lot of black and red. And not a lot of green near the end. We have good green cards, though. I don't think we need to try and cut that out and just, like, go black-red. It's nice to have multiple colors, and Soul of Windgrace will be quite strong. Oh, it's always worth considering if it's time to cut out a color or switch to another. You know, beginning of pack 2. Arid Mesa gets me Stomping Ground and Blood Crypt. Yeah, we want fetch lands. We want fetch lands for the sake of Tireless Tracker and for Bristly Bill. And for the fact that they just make your mana awesome. This is a really good pack. Terrors of the Track is such a pain in the... You know what? This card is strong. 2-drop, 2-1 flying. And when you attack, it makes a copy of itself that you draw. It has a Blood Artist effect. It only triggers once per turn, but still. I'm a little higher on that than this Innkeeper's Talent. Man, Innkeeper's Talent is good. I think I might just take Innkeeper's Talent, but... what's going to wheel out of this pack? A Braid, Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm going to take Terrors of the Track. I think it's going to synergize with what I have going a little bit better. See a Marsh Flats and I gets me Blood Crypt, but it's kind of it. I like Piggy Bank. Twin Flame Tyrant looks kind of underwhelming to me. I mean, Unearth could be kind of awesome. I have a lot of good 2-drops. I'm just going to take the fetch land, though. Wow, Sublime Epiphany. That card's awesome. Llanowar Green Widow is a beating. 3-drop, 4/3, reach and trample. You get to bring it back for like 4 or 5 mana. Not really ramping, so Green Widow looks like our pick. Otherwise, I might have considered Inferno Titan, but even then, Inferno Titan's really expensive, and I don't like to take it on the first wheel around. Bonehorde Dracosaur is a good one. I might just take this Strangle, though. Can I wheel Strangle if I take Obliterating Bolt? I think Obliterating Bolt's a little bit better than Strangle. It hits things like Thieving Aven, which Thieving Aven is a pretty big problem. Zulaport Cutthroat for our... We could wheel that Jadar, actually. But I think I just want this fetch land again. Territorial Kavu. Card's pretty strong. We're going to want some lands of other colors now, in addition to just Jund. I'm going to take like Goldspan Dragon over this Once Upon a Time. We could use some 5-drops to break stalls and catch people off guard with this deck. People are going to be tapping out to deal with our boards. I think Goldspan Dragon will allow us to steal some games. Unholy Heat could be good. Ooh, wield the Innkeeper's Talent? Yeah, that's fine. I'm definitely seeing that a deck that did not involve green at all might be pretty good. But we've got Bristly Bill and all these other things. Unearth over Piggy Bank. I think Unearth is going to be pretty good in this deck. We have a lot of targets for it that are strong. There's that Strangle on the wheel. Lumbering World Wagon. There's a Nissa Who Shakes the World. There's a Zagoth Triumph, a Misty Rainforest. Lumbering World Wagon is a pretty awesome creature. I think I like it a little bit more than most of these other options. Caustic Bronco. Sheoldred's Edict is such a good removal spell. I think I'm going to take the Edict here. Playing a bit of a rock deck, but it looks cohesive. Liliana Dreadhorde General. It'd be nice to top off this deck with a Planeswalker. So a lot of cards in here we'll probably wheel to be able to play. I think I might just take another fetch land. Oh no, Savai Triumph. Wait, that adds one more color. Yeah, Savai Triumph adds another land for our Territorial Kavu. That'll be good. Ooh, Fecund Green Shell. I don't think I have that many creatures to set it off. Most of my creatures have more power than toughness. Yeah, maybe this is not a green shell deck. We have Crucius, Titan of the Waves. Crucius is quite strong. We're a Stomping Ground. Yeah, I could take Crucius. Ooh, Glissa Sunslayer. Bloodstained Mire. Could we wheel the Glissa, I wonder? I don't think we can. I'm going to take Glissa here. Elemental. I have an Elemental and an... Oh, this is a different Nissa. Ignore me. Impetuous Lootmonger might be a little bit more interesting. This. Oh. Can make things die, can't I? Liliana looks kind of weak. I'm just going to take Impetuous Lootmonger. Fabled Passage. That's a nice pickup over the Inquisition of Kozilek. I don't have blue mana for that Omnath, but Aganosaurus Rex is pretty sweet. Bristlebud Farmer, probably not going to make it. We are doing some ramping. Yeah, I'll take Titan of Industry. Nexus of Becoming. This seems like a deck that could benefit from a Nexus of Becoming. This deck looks interesting. I think we probably should have just switched over to black-red at some point. But this still does look quite good. We've got a few cuts to make, though. Several cuts to make. Scavenger's Talent with Tireless Tracker is pretty cute. Alright. No, I don't think this is a Titan of Industry deck. Alright, we only need to cut 3 more cards. That's not bad. Loomer does seem pretty good with landfall triggers, doesn't she? Yeah, I'm not that impressed by Crucius. I know I took him early. He does help you filter lands out of your hand. Just turn them into bigger spells. But, I don't know. If I'm looking at cuts, he's definitely under consideration. Let's look at our removal. Knight of the Ebon Legion doesn't really fit. We might be able to make room for some of these bigger things. Getting around to it. Or maybe not. How well can I turn on Delirium? Actually, pretty well, I think. The bummer, I didn't really get anything other than Soul of Windgrace to get lands back from the grave. I guess I have Lumra. That definitely does it. Lumra with Scavenger's Talent could be pretty filthy. I think Territorial Kabu might just like not be good enough. It's gonna be a 3/3, sometimes a 4/4. I do ramp. It'd be nice to have something big to play at the top. You know, that's going to very easily be a 4/4, isn't it? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. All right. You know, this deck looks pretty interesting. Let's see if our land base is strong. One mountain. Probably fine. Ooh, Marsh Flats can't get green. Yeah, we didn't get that overgrown tomb. That's okay. All right, this looks good to me. Let us run it. Jund, rock, ramp of sorts. Unearth on Glissa is something I think about. A lot of 2-drops. We have a lot of 2-drops. My Bristlebud Farmer might actually be pretty good. Alright, let's run it. This deck's doing weird things. It's mid-rangey. It's aggressive. Got fine removal. It has a game plan to win late. But it doesn't do any of those things probably as well as other color combinations that are doing the same thing. We'll have to figure it out together. Let's just get this sub-triome now. Nah, I want to see what's on top. Perfect. It takes Soul of Windgrace to slow down the curve, probably. Do I care about Magda? I care about playing Soul of Windgrace this turn. That's what I care about. Okay. A mountain here. Guess I need another black source, don't I? Kind of scary to go down to that low, though. Oops. Nice. All right. Oh, yep. Now I can play the Scavenger's Talent and mill my opponent. Well, I guess I have to wait till I upgrade this. I guess I'm a little bit more interested in killing them, aren't I? Now that they have Sky Sovereign. Taking a lot of damage here from our lands. I feel fragile here. 8 life while my opponent has Sky Sovereign and we don't have blockers. Whew. Phew. All right. I can sacrifice that. Mill my opponent. Get some lands. And now I'm able to sacrifice this food and not be dead. Oh, I can take my opponent's land. Sky Sovereign's a lot better when you have some creatures to crew it with. Nice. Here we go. This is what I wanted to do. I haven't played with Scavenger's Talent that many times. Pardon my lack of speaking. I'm just trying to make sure I do it all right. Good game. Scavenger's Talent is fun. Brucius helps us draw into Scavenger's Talent. I like how that played out. I like all these cards. Bristlebud Farmer also searches for Scavenger's Talent, and it synergizes with it better. Oh yeah, great hand. I'm all about it. We get to set up our draws, play a 2-drop, make it bigger. I'd prefer to play this on turn 3. Did he pay the life for that? That was weird. I'm more okay with this getting countered. I can always play it again. Oh, or not. All right, seems fine. Ooh, a negate. Or a removal spell for creatures, possibly. Probably creature removal. It is indeed a control deck. Man, I wanted to use this. More counters? More counters. Missing a few too many land drops for my liking. Ah, Spell Pierce, I see. That's a lot of treasure. At least our opponent doesn't get any value out of that ephemerate. There's more treasures. Maybe they have an X spell that's huge. That works for me. Clears the way for Lumra. That's pretty good too. It's only right that I attack, make my opponent lose that Deathrite Shaman. Wow, he gets to kill me with Lightning Helix. Good game. We could have kept Lumra back. But then they would have house melded it. Just dealt us a bunch of damage, and they still would have had the blocker. Yeah, needed that one card in hand for Soul of Windgrace to gain us life. Bummer. Good game, good game. Oof. That did not feel like a worthy loss. Well played, opponent. Saying looks good. All right. Our opponent did not want to get heisted there. It was a weird forfeit, in my opinion, but... oh well. They did miss at least one land drop. Now this is a hand. Turn 2 Glissa. Glissa on turn 2 might just eat removal. Let's see. Yeah, looks like Glissa on turn 2 might just eat removal. Indeed. We don't want to give our opponent anything to hit with that Flage. I only need a couple more cards now in the yard, which I don't love. They have a land in there that I can take? No. I guess I should get back a land, though. Get my Soul of Windgrace going so that I have a clock. Oh, wow. Our opponent's probably going to be able to cast Flage next turn if we don't kill Inti. So, let's kill Inti. Well, Aganosaurus Rex is a lot bigger than Flage. And your life total goes down really fast with all these shocks and fetches. Wow. That was pretty cool. So I'm just paying a bunch of life.
Hello everyone, I'm MJ Boyle. Welcome back to another video. In this video, my grandpa...
Hopefully our opponent... Oh, we lose.
Say hi. And today...
We're gonna lose now.
So,
That Toxic Deluge was strong.
what is your name? How old are you today?
Top decking a land there. And we drew our ninth land before our 10th spell. Not that it would really matter against Flage. We can't beat that. We might be able to this way. some good removal. I don't actually think we have anything to get rid of Flage. Future land, instant sorcery. Unholy Heat would do it, but we just drew more lands. That was lame. Alright, we're 2-2. Let's keep it going. Facing some good decks. Having not the best luck. Maybe we'll see Bristly Bill or our Tireless Tracker one of these games. Maybe. Hey, look, Bristly Bill. What a curve. I didn't get Commercial District because we do have that Territorial Kabu. And more importantly, I don't care what I draw next turn because I'm playing Soul of Windgrace next turn. Looks good to me. I don't think they realize what they've done. Soul of Windgrace does a lot. Next turn we can attack with it and Goldspan Dragon. Get another land, make a bunch of mana.
Well, here's the sleep shop's answer. Well, here's the sleep shop's answer.
If I'd played that land, I could have made him indestructible here. Instead, we're going to play a World Wagon. That's funny. If I'd kept that arid mace out, I'd be. That's all right. Got him anyway. Three and two. That's a positive record. At the very worst, we'll go even. See how many wins we can pull off with this Jund mid-range ramp deck. We can afford to lose some life when we're making foods. I missed. Oh, Athalia, you say? Let's see here. If I attack with terrors, and then I just play Sheoldred's Edict, sacrifice one of them. Nah. I'm gonna Unholy Heat this Thalia. We'll get a Drain trigger from terrors. Our double team, and then I'm gonna play this and get a tapped land, probably the Commercial District. Next turn, or no, sorry, Savai Triumph. That way I can double spell with Sheoldred's Edict and Terrors of the Track next turn. Wow, that's a lot of damage. I go to 4? Jeez. I go to 3. I can do math. Okay. Not dead yet. Maybe. Pretty damn close. Wow, it was a good land for them. I guess this is what I'm doing. I roll. Oh, what up, Bear? Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. We went 3 and 3. This deck didn't seem that great, so I'm not terribly surprised, but the losses were bothersome. Good games. All right, so what are we at? Let's do another. Sometimes the AI are strong, man. There's a reason we're afraid they might beat us one day. They're not lazy like we are. How's the Tarkov update? What's that all about? Hello, drafters, and welcome to an Arena Cube draft. I'm Kevin, and we're here to play some Magic. We're here to have some fun. Hopping right in. What do we got? Okay, so this pack has some stuff in it. Hostile Investigator is interesting. It's a little expensive, in my personal opinion. Nissa Voice of Zendikar is pretty good at clogging up the board. I'm actually a pretty big fan of just playing Nissa on turn 2. There's a lot of ways to do it. This pack also has Chromehost Seed Shark for a cool control deck. We've got Overgrown Tomb, always good to take a Shockland early. But I think I'm going to take Nissa. Valky might be a little bit better of a pick early. Information slows down their game plan. I don't know. I like the idea of Nissa. Ooh. Alright, so Valky into Lightning Bolt would have been interesting. This pack has all sorts of cool things. Elish Norn, Lightning Bolt, Midnight Clock. I don't actually think Elish Norn is that good. I mean, it just shut down a lot of different strategies. I like Lightning Bolts a little bit more. Ooh, and a Johnny. Hello. That is a bomb and a half. The Johnny's got to be one of the best cards in the set. Hey, Dream Dragon, welcome to the stream. We're on draft number 2. We went 3 and 3 with a Jund deck. And now we're on to draft number 2. I first picked Nissa. Second picked Lightning Bolt. Now we're about to third pick a Johnny and play Boros. So one of the important things about playing Boros is getting fetch lands so that your Flage comes out sooner. Chrome Mox is interesting, but I'm not sure that I get enough, like, spells to exile things. I don't think I have enough, like, card advantage. Yeah, Dragon's Rage Channeler is cute, definitely. I agree. Dragon's Rage Channeler is, the Surveil one is strong, and it does become a 3/3 eventually. I like Windswept Teeth here. I'm just going to take the fetch land. Oh, hello. This is a cat. It doesn't have to be Boros. There is a Smuggler's Copter in this pack, though. So Scythecat Cub has to be one of the best cards in this set. That's tough. I'm very tempted to take Scythecat Cub. But, I mean, I've won a lot of games with Smuggler's Copter in this cube. Exorcism is nice removal. I agree with that. I wouldn't really consider taking it this early or over these cards, though. And, man, getting past pick 5 Scythecat, that's a signal I probably shouldn't ignore, as good as Smuggler's Copter is. I'm going to take the Scythecat Cub. Follow it up with this Marsh Flats. There's a Sanguine Evangelist here, though. That would have been good if we had stuck with our Smuggler's Copter. You know what? I'm going to take Sanguine Evangelist anyway. That card's very good. Flooded Strand over this Shove Aside. Yes. A Stomping Ground makes it so we can play our colors. Jetmir's Garden is all 3 of those colors. Actually searchable with Flooded Strand too. Not on turn 1, but that's probably okay. There's only one of each of the triomes. There are multiple copies of the shocks and the fetches. Taking Jetmir's Garden here. Play with Fire or a Portable Hole. Portable Hole takes care of a lot of different things that are annoying. Play with Fire feels a little more narrow to me. I'll take Fiery Annihilation here. Ooh, a Hired Claw. That pack was full of black cards. Yeah, I'll take Hired Claw here. So, I mean, perhaps I should have taken that Smuggler's Copter and just stuck straight to... No, I'm ignoring these cards. And just gone straight with red-white. Perhaps. Nurturing Pixie's pretty good with a Johnny. And kind of Sanguine Evangelist. Maybe we can find some other ways to use it. Chandra or Dragon, in your opinion? Yeah, those cards are good. I just don't like expensive cards nearly as much in this set. I guess Portable Hole with Nurturing Pixie takes out tokens pretty well. That's cute. I do see this Llanowar Elves. The Goldspan Dragon is quite good. Got a really late Explorer and a late Goldvein Hydra. Oh, we have this Nissa I forgot about. Yeah, I'm taking Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves. What, Llanowar Elf? Yeah, well, that's not gonna happen. We won't be plagued by having bad mana in this set. This may be like a red-green deck that splashes white for a Johnny, even. Path to Exile is not my favorite removal spell, but it does the trick. I don't know. I could just take the Great Henge, but I like Path. Yeah, Path seems like the best removal spell in that pack. Best card in that pack, probably. Okay, what are we looking at here? Hello, Teferi. It's nice to see you. Kellen? Yeah, Royal Eruption can hit the face, but I don't know. Not really what I'm looking for. Kellen's kind of bad, though. There's just so much stuff on the board. I guess he kind of does the trick with the removal we have. Yeah, Bankbuster would have been a fine pick there. Bankbuster might have been a little bit better than Kellen. I like Bankbuster a lot, but we took Kellen. We're down to the last second. I didn't think about it hard enough. All right, so here we're at Garrick Relentless, or this Lust Portico. I have been very impressed with Garrick Relentless. There's so many like X3s and like 2-3s and 1-4s and stuff that you get to finish off. Garrick kills a lot. However, these Surveil lands are really, really good, and they keep drawing cards for me out of nowhere by putting a card in the bin or like setting off your Titan a turn early. Here's a Titan. Pick 5 Flage. That is awesome. How'd this end up here? Yeah, that pack was juicy. Springheart Nantuko is very, very good. Sometimes you get to copy Scythecat Cub. Sometimes you get to copy Lotus Cobra and like go infinite. There's all sorts of cool things you can do. I'm going to take Springheart Nantuko. Yeah, Primeval Titan doesn't quite look like the pick. Forsaken Crossroads definitely helps us cast our spells. Fanged Flames, and Fanged Flames is good removal. It's the same thing as Obliterating Bolt. But our mana needs to be good, so I think Forsaken Crossroads might be a little better for us here. Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing. I like to get fixing and cards that are like hinge like points for like the best card in the deck. Get your fixing, and then I find removal kind of comes to you in this set naturally. Rogran Triumph helps us cast our spells, but Verdant Catacombs is another fetch we need. There we go. There's the wheel on Goldspan Dragon. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, focusing on removal is like a common misconception that it's good to do. And like, yeah, good removal especially in normal sets. Focusing on removal is good, but in cube drafts, it's less good to focus on 1-for-1s that are just good removal. We're gonna take Slogurk. If we can actually get some blue sources, Slogurk is nasty. Green, white. There's a Misty Rain for us. Seasoned Pyromancer fills the graveyard. Things. Bonehorde Dracosaur might be a little more interesting. Crucius. We don't really want to dip into black, so I'll just slough off that Professional Facebreaker. Yeah, in Cube Draft, you really want to focus on the big bombs that win games, like Flage, like a Johnny, like Goldvein Hydra is actually pretty awesome. I'm surprised it went around so late. We need red dual lands. We have none so far, so Sacred Foundry here. We're on pack 3. That's cool. This is coming together. I know it looks wacky, but it's coming together. Kellen, not my best pick. What did I take that Dracosaur over? Seasoned Pyromancer? That was That was very much a mistake. I did not mean to do that. That's okay. We're moving along. I see Obliterating Bolt. We get another chance at one. There's also a Scalding Tarn. Yeah, Scalding Tarn gets Sparrow's Headquarters and the Redlands. You could probably wheel Obliterating Bolt. Wait, Wild the Cattle's in here? That's hilarious. We'll see if we wheel Wild the Cattle or Obliterating Bolt. Alright. I see an Atali Primal Conqueror here. That card is quite strong. I'd like to be a little bit lower to the ground. Let's see. I'm making a lot of creatures. I'm not ramping that much. Isika's Chariot might be a little bit better. No, we'll take Atali. Atali is definitely the best card there. Wooded Foothills or a Windswept Heath? I like Foothills here. Okay. We need 6 more cards. Lightning Helix? Oh, man. Pack has Elegant Parlor. We do need more red dual lands. We need a red-green one, though. Ooh, Avacyn's Pilgrim? Or a Magda? I bet we could wheel this Magda. Yeah, I'll get enough playables. We'll get there. We're getting close, I know. Dracosaur. Dracosaur is pretty awesome with Flage. Sometimes you get to play Flage and give it haste in the same turn. What are we at? 19. There we go. Dollmaker's Shop. Time to take some spells now. What was Sarah? Sarah was in the pack with this Avacyn's Pilgrim. There we go. There's that Crater Hoof. There's that Crater Hoof on the wheel instead of Wild the Cattle or Obliterating Bolt. We got a couple more ways to ramp. Oh man, Wild the Cattle's going to be a 3/3 so often, but I don't know. I'm going to take Crater Hoof. Is there a Lightning Helix somewhere I could wheel this bloodthirsty adversary? Oh, another Arid Mesa. Legion's Landing. And Ramunap Excavator actually lets us go off. Maybe. Deck looks wild. I'm excited to play it. I kind of wanted a breeding pool so that I could play Slowgurk with an untapped land. I definitely don't want to play this island. Nine fetches? That's too many fetches. I might have gone a little overboard on the fetches, I have to admit. All right, 8 fetches is good. Landfall things. Yeah, I think shop will be pretty good. Shop will be good. The point here is to clog up the board early and then, like, make them have to spend extra cards to get rid of our things like a Johnny, and Flage and Nissa, Dollmaker, and then we just kind of win with Crater Hoof, Goldspan, Atali. I think Professional Facebreaker might actually be a good fit here. We have a lot of creatures. Maybe I need another removal spell. But Facebreaker does let me cast my spells. Yeah, I like the idea of a Professional Facebreaker. He might actually draw me some extra cards from Goldspan Dragon, too. Alright, this looks wild. Let's see if we can pull off some wins. I think I might need to change up the mana base a little bit. What do we got here? Jemir's Guardian, Sparrow's Headquarters. Do I need another forest over a mountain? Yeah, the hope is that we just don't draw the non-fetches. Yeah, this is wild. This deck looks rather misguided, trying to do like 3 different things, but we're having fun with it. I got pretty excited about that Scythe Cat pick 5 when I should have just taken Smuggler's Copter and ignored the green entirely. Mistakes were made. I'm not perfect. What could possibly go wrong? I can't think of anything. Meow. All cats are Scythe Cats. But they're so sweet. I miss having cats. Paid actor telling people to play catcher modes. What, in modern? In best of one standard? What? How do you go about doing that? I gotta look this one up. Rap shooter? It's huge. It's rather annihilatable, if you ask me. All right, let's see this deck. Lord Skitter. It uses Ghost Vacuum. Legion to Ashes, temporary lockdown. How does it make up for losing all that life? With Biza? I don't know. I'm not impressed. It doesn't look very good to me. Seems like it's a pretty good deck in Modern, though. I don't think it's as good against Boros as some people might lead you to believe. That is annoying. This is so bad. My goal here is to lightning bolt Nissa so the creatures she makes are smaller. It's not a very good plan. Nissa's really hard to beat if you have an empty board. Oh, and then our plan. All right, we're just gonna lose to some planeswalkers. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we're a couple turns away from Craterhoof. Maybe we can steal it from him. Yeah, I don't think many of the gods are very good in constructed formats. I would agree with that. Indestructible is not hexproof by any means. Happy Goose. Honk. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of ways this can go poorly. I'll just do whatever the cards allow me to. We're kind of at our opponent's mercy. We haven't really been able to take any actions that change the course of this game so far. Yeah, like I said, I should have just been in red-white. This was all quite disastrous. That's like close to being cool, good, but it's not quite good enough. Not with 2 3/3s. I mean, at least it makes my creatures bigger. Does that matter, though? He just gets to attack with more 3/3s and a 4/4, and I don't actually get to play any creatures. No, I don't think that's good enough. We need something else. If I could have drawn Dollmaker Shop and Legion's Landing, this would be a lot different. Oh. That's nice. I don't even think Crater Hoof kills them. $35 damage. What are they at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Well, I mean, it does if they don't put any more toughness on the board and don't kill our creatures. He won't attack with all of them. I can let 10 damage through and path a 4/4 if he decides to attack that way. Oh, I didn't think about that 3/3. Oh yeah, keeping. I did think about that. What am I saying? All right. I can take 9 and just path the 4/4, or take 10 and path a blocker. No, because then I can't fetch land. Yeah, I needed to path that thing and hope he didn't have. He probably has Sublime Epiphany, so it probably doesn't even matter. But our opponent got 3 Planeswalkers out. There's not much hope to run with there. So it's 21, which means they have to block 6 damage of it. We get to flip Legion's Landing, make a treasure, and then just lose. Yeah, it doesn't even matter what I do. We're just dead to all of those attackers next turn. Alright. Well, with one more attacker, we could have done it there. It looks like our opponent had some kind of interaction, and they just didn't need to use it because our attack was so underwhelming, but that was a mistake. Good call, Dream Dragon. I am not on top of my game today. Yeah, they were a control deck. They had all the answers. Not much you can do about it. When you get to play an early Nissa like that, pretty hard to compete. Makes the game quite easy. Yeah, attacking as a 10-10 on turn 4 is definitely what the Scythe Cat is known for. Or attacks as an 8-8, I think. I'm afraid to play this Draconautics Engineer. To be honest, I'm gonna wait. I don't have any other threats. If he kills my engineer, I just kind of sit here and do nothing. And this way I get to activate the engineer in the same turn. See what they do. Now we're on the beatdown train. Need one more removal spell. I'm afraid an Atali's about to hit the board. That's the idea. Lightning bolt to the face. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. We've got a lot of outs, I think. No, not when he played that land. Ooh! Okay, we've got a lot of outs again. What's it gonna be? Ah. No. Not quite. Yeah, that's too many balustrade worms. Oh, he did it! He did it! Got him! The fetch land! Yeah, I mean, all he had to do was play the fetch land and get one balustrade worm out, and he won. Fetching for another one. I was greedy. Oh, that was awesome. All right, Bolt. Thanks for the victory. Oh, that was awesome. Lightning bolt to the face. That feels good. Putting Springheart and Entuko on giant things like that is one of the most fun things to do in this set. No, they did not expect that. They were like, oh man, look at all this damage. We've got 16 trample damage. There's no way they can... Lightning bolt. This hand looks keepable. I prefer to be on the play, but what can you do? Okay, Johnny. It's good to see you. Oh. Taza. Don't see that every day. If my opponent blocks, I mean, I could copy a Johnny, but I need to wait until I have enough mana to do it. And that way, once I copy a Johnny, it'll flip a Johnny. Once and a Johnny dies, give me an extra 2/1. So I'll just be able to do it once, but then I'll still have the Springheart Nantuko left over. So that's probably not a bad strategy. But I gotta wait. Gotta wait till I can hit it in the same turn. Wow, Taza. That's pretty awesome. So many fun things you can do with Cube Draft. Well, right now my opponent has Leyline Binding up. Oh, they're just going to play it? What? Get rid of a Johnny? Okay. I think my goal is going to be cloning Sanguine Evangelist. Or a Tali, you know. Always set our sights a little bit higher. Yep, exactly. Sanguine Evangelist was a really good top deck there. We used to block the 2/1. No more clues for our opponent. I'm pretty low on health, aren't I? Would I rather have a creature over this treasure? Yeah, I guess I would. Oh, wow, that's strong. Really, no land. Well, hopefully we can draw one. There we go. Boom. Oh, we're taking damage. Oh, man. Yeah. I think it's safe to get him for 1. I'm not terribly worried about this game since we get to attack for like 7.5 million next turn. Fucking all of our creatures get +4/+4. We'll make it +5/+5 with Nissa. Might just be able to kill them next turn actually. They won't even count the damage Nissa adds. They'll just hit a Tali because I'm close to 7. I don't think it's worth taking the risk that our opponent has a counter spell for Nissa. At the very least, we just get to attack with 3 Sanguine Evangelists. Give me a land. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Infinite Evangelists. Oh, it's hilarious. See, everything gets +4/+4. What's our opponent at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 5 blockers. If I just attack with everything here, then +4. See, this says 5 power, 5 power, 5 power. Five, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So they can block 3 things and gain a bunch of life. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We could attack with both bats. A little risky. He's gonna have to block. Yeah, I like this. Put the pressure on. Yeah, block them. Block the Evangelists. Give me some more bats. Opponent takes 21, gains 3, goes down to 8. Loses most of their creatures. This looks like a good trade for me. I'm also going to get a treasure so I can play this Hired Claw. But I don't need to. I think I'm just going to keep back the mana for Atali. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Springheart Nantuko. Even if our opponent wipes the board, we have 5 bats to come back with. That has hexproof, eh? Well, I'm sure that my opponent's dead now. Battle cry times 5. Yeah, but I don't need to. I'm just gonna leave up the Path to Exile, in case, yeah, I don't know, in case my opponent did something and was able to attack with Dragon Lord, then I'd be able to kill it before it killed me. Yeah, there's no need to get rid of blockers there. Threatening 80 damage, 80, 90 damage almost. That was awesome. Good game. All right, that was cool. That's Cube stuff. That's the kind of thing we try to do in Cube. Cube-alicious. No, I don't think that there are any fogs like that. I did lose to a fog in a Kaladesh draft. It was against a green deck. I was playing red-blue energy, and they played fog on my final attack, and I lost the game. That happened like this week. Somebody beat me with a fog. It was incredible. Sounds like you play a lot of Brawl and Commander. I don't know if Settle the Wreckage is in this set, but I don't... Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Our goal here is just a Sanguine Evangelist Springheart Nantuko again. You know what it is. Yeah, Settle the Wreckage makes for some of the most wild swings in Magic. My opponent's leaving a lot of mana up. They discarded 3 steps ahead. I'm afraid of my opponent's open mana. Maybe I shouldn't have been. They discarded 3 steps ahead, which made me think they had another counterspell. Apparently they did not. I mean, they still could have a counterspell. Definitely. So what I can do is play this Arid Mesa just in case. Allmaker's Shop. That's cool with me. Gotta play around all the counter spells here to make sure our game plan works. Oh shit, I could have Path to Exiled that. Oh fuck. That was dumb. Oof, big oof. Well, maybe I'll be thankful I kept my opponent off of 4 mana. Or 5 mana, perhaps. Okay. Okay. Well, this is a good sign. Yeah, tapped out feels like Dragon Time. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We might just die. Yeah, I think I'll Flage Mastermind. And then I have Path to Exile if he decides to get that Emerald Collector. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm killing this Emerald Collector with Path either way. I don't want him to draw any cards. There we go. It's nice to see a plan come together. And if our opponent decides to wipe the board here, well, we've got this Bonehorde Dracosaur and this Flage. Here we go. It's happening. We can also play Flage. No, we're not playing Flage, sorry. We do love it when there are no stops. Yeah, we'll keep that right on top. Do I want to give my opponent the option to condemn? I guess it doesn't matter. I do not think it matters. Attacking with the Evangelist here just means that next turn we get to use our mana to do something else if they do have some kind of answer for it. But I feel like if they had an answer for the Evangelist, they would have killed it. I feel like this attack is moderately safe. Our opponent could draw 2 cards. And then, okay, gonna make a copy, bounce. The Evangelist. What is happening here? Bouncing Springheart and Nentuko so that he can chump the. Okay. You know, I don't know how good that was. Didn't we just play this Dollmaker Shop? Why didn't he counter that? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm going to bestow this other one here. And, yeah. Seems good to me. Yes, I certainly can. Open the porcelain gallery. Once all of my dolls are complete. Creepy toy. What could my opponent do here? I'm at 9. Okay. I'm willing to give him some of this. Yeah, wipe the board. Wipe the board. Leave me with a Springheart Nentuko and 2 bats. Yeah, we planned for this. We planned for this. I suppose I'll just make that and do this. And make another dude and win. Good game. Nice. That was fun. We're doing the Sanguine Evangelist thing. All right, 3-1. Do we want to change anything? I don't feel like adding Kellen's going to do anything. And Chandra definitely doesn't do anything, since I guess Chandra helps kill them. Is Bonehorde Dracosaur kind of slow? I feel like if I'm clogging the board up with things, maybe I just want to be ticking up Chandra. Just cannot imagine actually resolving this. Facebreaker, kind of underwhelming. Bonehorde Dracosaur. You know, Facebreaker was actually... It did draw us a treasure, or it drew us a land and made us a treasure. Yeah, me too. I feel like Bonehorde Dracosaur might be a little bit weak. I guess Nurturing Pixie bounces Legion's Landing. Is that it? That's, yeah. That's it. Yeah, I guess we'll keep Dracosaur in. Yeah, I like, and Hoof is, yeah, Hoof is definitely dangerous, but it wins a lot of games, and it probably would have won that game if I had played it better. And plus, our top end is pretty light. We just have like 2 6 drops, Crater Hoof, and 2 5 drops. W2 Steve.
Olives had a major run. Maraschino cherries, major run. No one had a run like limes. No one.
All right, this will be my last game before I go and eat some dinner. Yeah, I have been bolting myself for about 6 life each game with all these fetches. It is the payoff, or the risk. Gotta take risks. You wanna get the big money. All right, Stomping Ground pays 2 life and plays an Absence Pilgrim. Next turn, I can play Scythe Cat and a land. Or not. I can play Scythe Cat, though. I could also play Explore, but I'd rather have a Scythe Cat out. Fair? It's a cat toy still. We're gonna bolt ourselves again. That's pretty strong. I am willing to sacrifice a Johnny to this Flood Pits Drowner. I want to make sure Kaito does not have enough to make a creature. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't want Kaito to be able to make a creature and survive. I should be more specific. We were on the draw here, right? I guess it doesn't matter. I have Excavator. I don't want that. I don't want to draw lands. I want them all in the graveyard. There we go. All right. Kaito just made a 2-1. And I don't even care about a Johnny. Johnny's really good, and I mean, it's really good, but I don't care. We're going to play a land. Yeah, this is a gold span turn. Because I'm fine with him countering it, because then I have Bonehorde Dracosaur. Oh shit, I forgot I would have 2 mana to pump up the Hired Claw. Whoops! Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, the Seed Shark. Wait, so what happened? Oh, he traded with Goldspan. That's pretty good. Now we just have a Bonehorde Dracosaur? Alright, cool. And I'll just keep playing lands for my graveyard. you know what? I don't want to play any more lands from my graveyard, so I'm going to offer him a trade on the excavator. He might choose to kill the Hired Claw instead, but I doubt it. See? Now we can deal damage, because we don't want to keep taking damage from that Wooded Foothills anyway. Wow, what a rip off the top. Our opponent top decking, and they get Expressive Iteration after their tap out with Seed Shark. That's awesome. They can answer Dracosaur. We're probably in bad shape. Yeah, they drew one. Well, that attack was good for us. Oh. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Very, very good. Can't this is a toy, so can't get the trigger off that. I think we're gonna be just fine with this doll maker shop now. He doesn't have mana for that, does he? No. I think we're going to be able to untap with the Dracosaur. Untapping with Dracosaur, I guess cards like that are worth playing in your deck. Because, like, this is a must answer or you lose, but it doesn't have any effect, like, when you play it. Wow. Porcelain Gallery. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have some sort of bounce spell. Good game, W2 Steve. Good game. Cube Draft-tastic. Four and one. Oh, this deck's awesome. I wish I could play more, but we're gonna head off to go get some dinner. Dolls greater than Hoof any day. You're absolutely right, honestly. Porcelain Gallery is kind of just like better than Greater Hoof Behemoth, isn't it? It doesn't give you the trample, but and it's not attached to a creature. I guess that's the big difference. Is Dollmaker's, but this kind of is attached to a creature. It's 8 mana, and you get Toys Overturn. I didn't really consider comparing this to Greater Hoof. But it is. It's like it's a pump spell, an anthem, if you will. Yeah, card is very, very good. Yeah, and so is this deck. I'm very impressed. I don't necessarily think this is a 7-win deck, but I definitely could see us getting 5 or 6 wins with it. Either way, this has been fun. Thanks for being here, Dream Dragon. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm gonna get some dinner. Thanks for watching. I'm done for now, and I'll be back tomorrow. I could take 1 to 2 fetches out. That's a tall order. That's a tall order. But you're right. I could take out a Verdant Catacombs, and not be dying so quickly and not run out of targets, your consideration, your advice has been taken into consideration. Changes have been made.